Let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 111 of a series. Okay, it's been a few days since I have posted to this series. I am back now, and I'm going to pick up where we left off back in 1996, reading about vitamin B6 and autism, the safety issue, and this was written by Bernard Rimland from Autism Research Institute. And I already shared the first part of this article, which is available on the Wayback Machine if you look up autism.org and seek the headline in those histories. I don't have this published to internationalbadassactivist.org, or it'd be easier to find, I know, but maybe in the future. All right, so we left off about hands and feet going numb from excessive amounts of B6, but no worries, just discontinue it. In all cases, it seems to resolve the problem. That's Rimland there. Okay, so where were we at? Oh, the symptoms when they stopped. Right, so when the B6 was discontinued, Rimland says, the dosage was markedly reduced. These symptoms went away very quickly and completely. It seems that some individuals are exceedingly sensitive to larger than normal amounts of B6. These cases are very few and far between, and discontinuing the B6 seems, in all cases, thus far to resolve the problem. Bloody certain of that. If you contrast these findings with the findings reported on a daily basis on the drugs that are used for autism, it becomes instantly clear that B6 is immeasurably safer. B6 is a replacement for every other medication known for autistics. What exactly are they replacing here that works? What the fuck? Really? B6? Gonna cure me. All right. All right. It's morning. Sometimes autistic history is just a bit much. But all right, here we go. If you contrast these findings with the findings reported on a daily basis on the drugs that are used for autism, it becomes instantly clear that B6 is immeasurably safer. There has never been a death or serious illness associated with the ingestion of even very large amounts of B6. Deaths and permanent disability from prescription drugs are commonplace. Right. My own son, and this is Rimland, my own son, now 40, oh boy, what did this guy get put through as a kid, has been taking about 1 gram per day of B6 along with 400 milligrams of magnesium and other nutrients for some 30 years. If there is a healthier person in North America, I would be surprised. Mark's only health problem to date occurred in his early 20s when a dentist found one small cavity in one tooth. This is a scientist? All right. Despite the extraordinary safety of B6, I have been told over the years by thousands of parents that their physicians have warned them against giving their children high doses of B6 because of the supposed risks involved. It's unfortunately very typical of most of the medical establishment, which of course makes its money by prescribing drugs to degenerate and exaggerate the dangers of taking nutritional supplements. Oh, autistic kids are going to suffer for this in big ways. And apparently they already have. He's had, 30 years of this already? This is 96, 30 years of Rimland pushing his woo. All right. A case in point. He's going to make a case in point. Recently, the national news media gave heavy coverage to a paper from the University of Michigan which warned the public against the dangers of taking vitamin B6. This report was given national television coverage, and we received a number of alarmed inquiries in our office from parents who are frightened by the warning B6 is toxic. When I read the study, I was truly appalled. The authors from the University of Michigan Medical School were supposedly investigating the value of vitamin B6 in the treatment of carpal tunnel syndrome, a painful malady of the wrist which has become very common in recent years and is usually considered a repetitive motion injury. The conventional treatment is surgery, which is often ineffective as well as been disfiguring, expensive, and painful. There have been a number of well-documented reports that high doses of vitamin B6 successfully treat carpal tunnel syndrome in the majority of cases, so that over a 6-week period, people who were scheduled for surgery no longer need such drastic treatment. I don't know where he's pulling this information from, really. It could be there. I don't know. The Michigan researchers have not given even 1 milligram of B6 to even one of their subjects, not patients. Their warning was based primarily on the 1983 Schomburg report, SCHAUMBURG report, however that's said. Further, they had not included even a single subject who actually had carpal tunnel syndrome. The anti-vitamin B6 bias in the report is very evident when you read in their review of research that several studies have reported B6 to be effective in treating carpal tunnel syndrome, while numerous reports have failed to confirm the finding. If you look at the actual references in their study, you'll see that there are 12 favorable reports and only 7 negative reports. So to them, several equals 12 and numerous equals 7. Oh my gosh, this is starting to sound like Wakefield, right? All right, the University of Michigan study with its highly publicized and totally irrelevant conclusions. Oh, I'm laughing, but it's not funny what happens after all of this hoopla to autistic kids. All right. The University of Michigan study with its highly publicized and totally irrelevant conclusions is certainly one of the worst and most appalling studies I have ever read. Alan Gabby, MD, author of The Doctor's Guide to Vitamin B6, referred to it as disgusting display of bias, and I certainly agree with that assessment. Now, if these doctors he's referring to are anything like the doctors he brings into the autism congressional hearings, these are quacks. Quacks. Nothing is perfectly safe, but B6 is exceptionally safe, particularly when compared to the alternative drugs, which are infinitely more likely to cause severe illness, injury, and even death. An autistic person will improve on high dosage B6 only if that person's body requires extra B6. Circular speak. Yep. All right, so I'm going to bounce past that a bit. Let's see. A 1995 paper reported that elderly patients, okay, he just keeps going on and on and on. And it's that same circular speak all the way till the end. And B6 in amounts as high as 50 grams per day is used as an antidote for victims of certain poisons. Is vitamin B6 toxic? Hardly. So that's Rimland in Autistic History.